Welcome to the channel. I'm Dani Walker. This is the recap for Miss Grand Philippines 2025. We are at the top of the show right now watching the opening, and first thoughts, it is a very enthusiastic host or voice of God as we call it. Ooh, okay. Clips of the ladies looking stunning. I love video footage and still images, but I feel like it should always complement the contestants, and they look beautiful here. The lighting's nice, the hair, the makeup, all of it. Interesting, they made the stage into a peace sign. This goes along with Grand's theme of Stop the War and Violence. Very unique staging. And then the green glow coming up from the center. Okay, we got smoke. Super cute opening number dresses here. I like the song. Okay, these are very, very grand opening number outfits. So cute. High energy, we got dancing, they look fabulous. As usual, for Grand, we're getting lots of awards, and I actually love awards for shows. I think it's great to just recognize these ladies even if you don't go home with the crown, and I especially love when the awards also have cash prizes or some sort of sponsorship that comes along with them. So this is always nice. I like acknowledging them. We got some performers here for the show. There are 7 singers. Very fun. We have a little pop performance right before swim to bring out the ladies. Love that. Don't know what she's saying, but it's very catchy. Here comes our first group of contestants. Oh, I already see a great walk coming from our lady in the front on the right. Okay, they're coming out waving some flags. Let's see the first of our top 15. Okay, lots of energy here for our first performance. I feel like she can relax the arms a little bit. I understand the big hairstyle for Grand. I just don't think it's the most complimentary, but I do really love the slow-mo and the facial beauty. The facial beauty is really there. Love her eye contact with the camera. She's walking down the stairs. She's doing that easily. Nice pivot turn with the Grand number 1 sign. Number 3. Okay, nice pivot turn here and the hair flip. The hair is beautiful. Cute little swimsuits. Okay, these are like hair care commercials. Very grand walk down the stairs. The hair is big, it's full, it's great for Grand. Lots of little hair flicks here. Okay, she had a very, very tricky little spin combination. Wow. I like this performance. I wish she hadn't opened her mouth for that slow-mo shot, but still a really good performance. Davao is beautiful. The crowd wasn't really loving her. I think she needed a little bit more of a grand performance for here, so that's really tough. Not that the crowd cheers really matter, but I feel like it influences the performance. Love this performance. This is a really strong walk. Hair flips were beautiful. Just a lot of really great moments. Wow. Her slow-mo shot, that hair. I need to go do my hair. Wow. Ooh, I love that eye contact with the camera. She got a lot of sass. Ooh, okay. Little lip bite for her slow-mo. I don't think I've ever seen that. Lot of confidence though. Rizal province. I love this chopped hairstyle on her. I feel like it doesn't do that well in Grand, but she's beautiful. The bounce, very 90s, like a 90s supermodel. She got that number 1 going on, the eye contact. Ooh, nice slow-mo shot. I love this. I hope that the judges are getting to see the slow-mos in a playback camera. Okay, Anita. Big fan fave here. Crowd is loving here. Okay. The multiple spin turns is very grand. Yes. Woo. She's beautiful literally at every angle. She nailed her slow-mo shot. Oh, I like her little backward step pony flip. Great smile. Really, really beautiful. Bicolandia. She is stunning. She should also do Universe. Has she before? She needs to do Miss Universe Philippines. Beautiful again. This hairstyle on her is giving me vintage Barbie. Great walk. Great extension of the knees. The spins were a bit much for her slow-mo. To Gig City. Nice walk, little leg pop with her pivot. Is she the one that added that at prelims? I can't remember. Ooh, flipping the hair with the spin turn? Beautiful. Ooh, great moments for her slow-mo. And of course, Emma's last. What a moment. Great eye contact walking down the stairs, pointing at the camera. Okay, she's fun with her little hair movements. You gotta have fun with it at Grand, especially for swim. Ooh, okay. Over the shoulder hair flip. She even threw in a last little spin turn before she walked off. Really, really cute. I love the slow-mo shot. I hope that we get that at Universe this year. Maybe we will with Nawat producing it. Now we're moving on to speeches for the top 15, which I feel like can be influential for a top 5, but it's not necessarily gonna make or break things for you if you're already a favorite, in my opinion, from what I've seen at Grand. First contestant. Microphone issues. Wars don't begin with weapons, they begin with words, she says. She's relating this to being cyberbullied. She says she's not a victim, but she has a voice. She says the key to preventing wars is through preventing bullying. by teaching empathy and respect. She says, peace begins when bullying ends. I think good presentation here. She did well to wait while the mic issue was corrected. Pam pam. Tarlac. She's leaning towards the mic. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, ladies. Stand up straight and tall. Project. There's a lot of breaks in her speech, and I talk about the power of the pause a lot with my own clients for speech competitions. Pauses can be very powerful, but they have to be placed in the right part of your speech. Unnecessary pauses can hurt the delivery of your speech. Number 4. Quezon Province looked very confident approaching the mic. Love that. She talks about her brother with autism. She says that there's war beyond guns, and she's talking about the violence of exclusion in relation to the personal story of her brother. She's calling for safe spaces for people on the spectrum. Interesting. You know what? I don't hate that she's taking it in the direction that she wants this to go. She did very well. Very confident. I liked it. Davao region. She says she's lived among the voices that have fought for peace. She says the real war is not with weapons or guns, but how we respond to conflict or pain. She said it's impossible to survive if we continue to choose war. She says everybody here has a voice, and she's doing that now on this stage. I thought it was pretty good. Not something that I would immediately be like, wow, she needs to be in a top 5 yet, but definitely enough to advance her. Bulacan. She says everyone deserves to live free from fear and violence. She says that she is the daughter of a survivor. I have to say, she looks beautiful. This is great hair and makeup for Grand. She is a law student and an advocate for anti-violence for women and children. She had a little pause in there. It's okay. She looked very beautiful. Did really well. I like her a lot. Filipino community of Canada. She's really beautiful too. She looks great on film. She talks about being discriminated against as a woman of color. She states mercy, goodwill, and inclusion each day, and she calls that the acronym for MGI, but I've never heard that acronym. I don't know if she came up with that, but I like it. She says, choose peace to be our victory. So choosing to live by that acronym, essentially. Really good though. I liked her. She said, stop the war, stop the violence, and she talked about growing up as a child being exposed to an environment with drug use. She says that peace doesn't always mean silence, but it's about harmonizing our voices for peace and for each other. I feel like she shared a bit about her personal story, but I didn't feel that to the connection of stopping war and violence as much. Anita has a great tone to her voice. She said she's talking about chasing a dream on an empty stomach, that she's seen war and violence. She has great facials too. She said essentially people are fighting this war against poverty everywhere. True peace can be achieved only if we address the main problem, which is war with suffering, poverty, and injustice. She's great. She said, may that healing reach every home so that no child may ever have to go to sleep hungry again. Wow. Oh, the crowd is going wild. I can see why. That is a great speech. This so far would have my highest score. Wow. Bicolandia. She says that this is for her father who was murdered by a misunderstanding. She said if it happened to her father, it can already happen to you, and it's happening around the world. She also looks beautiful. I'm trying not to cry. She says we must create a bridge of understanding, to be compassionate to one another and create a world where everybody is loved and respected regardless of who they are. She said we don't need soldiers of war, we need champions of peace. Wow, well said. Oh, so good. Quezon City. If war destroys lives, then peace must be the greatest gift we can give. She said many children live a life in fear of losing someone they'll love every day. Love is stronger than anger, hate, and violence, she says. We can be the light that shines at the end of a tunnel for women, children, and for families. Nothing bad about this speech. It just didn't get to my heart. To Gig City. She said war destroys cities and violence can destroy the essence of a person's spirit. She says that war and violence also applies to women that are afraid to walk home alone at night or go to sleep in their own beds. She's talking about sexual violence and abuse. She asked the audience to raise their hand if you're a victim of sexual assault or violence. She's talking about loss of life, but not even counting the amount of people that have gone missing or women that have gone missing. She says violence is not just about guns and bombs, it could be fear and silence. She says peace isn't just politics, it's safety and it's respect. She says that peace is when we decide as a collective that every woman and child is worth protecting. Yeah, great speech. Wow. Aklana's talking about the war in Gaza. She looks very beautiful too. She says that lives are reduced to statistics of bloodshed and war. She says that these stories require our outrage and our recognition. She says we must demand accountability from leaders, nations, and from ourselves. Really relevant topic here, talking about what is happening in the Middle East. Great job. Emma looks so confident as she walks over to the mic. She's so beautiful. She says she's a news anchor and she has been reported about violence and war. She says through every heartbreaking story, an ounce of hope has always remained in her heart. She says that her voice has a purpose beyond the newsroom. She says she dreams of a time that she'll no longer speak of pain, but of peace. She says that a world without war is a decision that begins with us right here, right now. So her delivery was phenomenal, especially at the end. I would say, gosh, her and Anita, though, in terms of delivery, are head to head. And I could see how a judge could go either way on a top score for this round, but this was great. Up next is the evening gown competition. I cannot wait to see the gown changes. Why do they all have to wear yellow? A little bit of neo to open up the gown competition. Okay. Love that we have a parade of gowns too. Yes. Even if a lady doesn't advance, I still want to see her in her evening gown for finals. Beautiful gown. Love the style on her. I just wish she would relax the hands a little bit, but really nice performance. Okay, the feathers are a lot for Quezon Province. She's struggling walking in this. She had some really nice moments at the end of the runway, but I just feel like the reveal of the gown was a little bit too much for me. It was distracting. For Grand, honestly, really cool gown. I like though that this satin ring gown is not just on her arms, it's actually over her head, so it's framing her. So it's actually pretty cool, and I feel like this is a gown that really suits Grand. And also her performance, I love. Bulacan. Beautiful evening gown. Love the way she's working it. It's a really simple style, but this shape complements her, and I love the slit. She is gorgeous. Great slow-mo moment as well. Her. Number 7. Honestly, this gown is a lot, but I actually feel like she's carrying this very well. And at Grand, you can do a lot. So I'm not hating this. I just love her confidence. I do, however, feel like if the skirt was a little bit more narrow, it would lengthen her more. Love this gown. This is a very grand gown. I like the hairstyling with this. I think that the extra little belt around the stomach is cute, and then she went with a low-rise cut instead of just doing a gown that was cut at the waist. Really, really beautiful. I love Leo Almonda gowns. I could tell immediately from his style of beading. This is beautiful. And I like that the pieces she's carrying on her arms with the feathers is actually connected. So it kind of serves like a train. Ooh, really cool design on Anita. Oh my gosh, this neckline. Oh my gosh, this should be a gown style at the Met Gala. The back and then the way that the cape connects, that's Rianne Fernandez. The structure and the removal. Wow. Oh, she's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, her final look, the exaggerated. I need to catch my breath after that. Bigolandia, beautiful with the hood removal, and I like how you can't really see the hood from the front anymore as she keeps walking. Love the draped liquid beading, really pretty. The hairstyling for this, love. Wow, kind of giving me Pia vibes with this hairstyle and those earrings. Beautiful. Quezon City. Okay, super cool removal. And the crowd went wild. Very cool. I feel like somebody pulled that fabric from backstage and made that happen. Going down the stairs like that, though, is a risk. There's this one gown design from Couture. I'm just waiting to see it at a pageant. I know it'll happen at some point. This was a great performance, though. And honestly, I feel like she did pretty good for her speech as well, so she could be moving forward. Oh, I like this gown. Interesting. There has to be a sheer mesh in the center of this gown to give it that kind of structure. Really, really pretty. Also, Rianne Fernandez. Oh, she's beautiful in this. Elegant over the shoulder look. Great job. And then the hand movement. Love that. Really cool gown from Aklan. I've seen a style like this at Miss Universe Vietnam, but this is so cool. I think, though, it wasn't that great for on stage. I feel like it would just look better in a photo shoot or on a red carpet because I feel like you lose the magic when she turns around and you can see the back. Still a memorable gown though. Okay, really cool opening reveal, and then the rest of that fabric got pulled away. I love that. I think her prelims gown was super original. This gown in itself, I feel like the best part of it was the reveal, and it's just her performance. Although the gown style is really simple, it looks great on her body. Really, really elegant though. She took her time at the end of the runway. Also, I feel like if you're the last contestant to go, you usually get a couple extra seconds. Nailed her pose. Audience was loving it. I do feel like she had more onstage time than everybody else. Nice little slow-mo moment with her rotation, the hand movements. Beautiful. Now we're going into Q&A. The top 15 get a question. That's a lot. They have 45 seconds to deliver an answer. That's too much. We could have narrowed at least to a 10. Ideally a 5. If you were given 10 seconds to promote the Philippines on a billboard in Times Square, what would you showcase and why? She said the Filipinos are known to be strong. She'd like to show people how strong Filipinos are in battling different misunderstandings or conflicts. She wants to show that it's not just a place of beautiful islands, but a place of resilience and strength. Honestly, good answer. I just feel like if she would have answered it with a bit more confidence, it could have helped. She was asked to imagine a no internet for 1 week challenge in the country. What positive effect could it potentially bring? She said we can be connected and more united, not just as Filipinos and the whole world. And she said that we are not dependent on the internet because it's our natural state to be united and as one. And she says that that's what she's doing at Miss Grand International Philippines, is to represent Filipinos and her country. Super confident. I think it was a pretty good answer. In your own opinion, what is the Philippines' best asset in promoting tourism and why? She says that the best asset is Filipinos. She says that they not only promote the Philippines, but also Filipinos and their culture. I think it was a pretty good answer, but kind of short. Filipinos of Canada. Do you believe everything happens for a reason, or do we create our own destiny? She said, based on the ooh from the audience, that everybody has a different perspective. She talks about going through a lot for this past year and talking about where she is now and how she's a role model to younger generations. She does believe that everything happens for a reason. Regardless of what she went through, she's standing tall with these curls and these face, representing her community in Canada. I feel like she stumbled a little bit of the way through that. Rizal Province. Everyone wants world peace. What would you rather have? A truce that lasts 1 year or a peace treaty that takes 10 years to negotiate? She says a peace might sound impossible, but she would rather choose a long-term effect. She talked about Filipinos being hopeful and golden and hoping the best for the world. She says choose compassion over chaos and understanding over hate. I think pretty good. I agree also with the answer. I mean, that's going to be a personal bias, but good. Tamales. If you could add one subject in Philippine schools to fight misinformation, digital or not, what would it be called? She says education is one of the most powerful tools or steps that we can have as people or individuals to have a stable economic status in the country. So if she chose one subject, it would be information literacy. Social media is the largest platform we can use, not just to promote what they have, but also to promote tourism of the Philippines. She says with grandest dreams, she knows that everything is possible with education. I am not exactly sure what information literacy is though. She answered really confidently and the audience was loving her, and overall she's been giving good performances. Bicolandia. What one Filipino tradition would you never want to change no matter how modern the world becomes? She says their respect to one another, especially elders. She said we must always know how to respect one another to be more kind because we don't know what somebody's going through in life. She just shared like an uplifting message, pretty good. I liked her overall performance, so I would still be scoring her well. If you could cast one fictional character as the president of the Philippines, who would it be and why? She talked about a character that goes up against injustice and silence, and she related herself to that character as well. And it looked like everybody was loving this answer. It was very, very confident. If the Philippines was a person, what kind of personality would it have? That's cute. She said an eccentric personality because the country is a melting pot with people with diverse personalities. She says it's a colorful place, and she hopes that everybody around the world sees their diversity because their people are amazing, kind, and resilient, and she hopes that people appreciate them as she knows they do. Honestly, you could have said anything positive about Filipinos, and I think it could have been a great answer as long as you're delivering it with confidence as she did. Does artificial intelligence pose a threat to mankind? Why or why not? She says AI has been a powerful tool to aid us in many ways, but the negatives is that it spreads hate and fake news. But she talks about being an active Filipino citizen who encourages people to know their morals by using the internet and AI as a way to uplift. She talks about how Filipinos uplift one another. She says that they should use AI for the greater force for the better to help save the world. So I honestly really just like her delivery for this. I feel like I talked about this in other recaps. I'm not big on these AI questions because we keep hearing them, but she did a fantastic job. If peace could be packaged like a product, how would you convince world leaders to buy it? She would convince world leaders to see the quality and not the quantity. She's talking about quality of having constant dialogue, not about the quantity of the time we need to speak. She says, if we do that, we'll eradicate disparities between opportunities that we can get, and we can't grow the division of people in terms of politics, power, and property. So she hopes that they'll look at quality. Okay. Wow. Honestly, beautifully said. kind of a complex answer, just really, really well said. Wow. Yeah, she sealed the deal with that. Now it is time for the crowning. They start with second runner-up. Second runner-up is Rizal Province. Oh, she's so excited. Beautiful. Yes, definitely one of our top performers out of this group. I don't feel like our result is very surprising because Emma is a veteran. And this is another one of those cases where I would have been more surprised if she didn't win. But the ladies still put on a really great show. I hope that they can come back. First runner-up is Bicolandia. She is so beautiful. So stunning. Face of Beauty Philippines 2025. Now they're crowning their Face of Beauty International title holder. Quezon City, really good performances from her. Honestly, I really liked her onstage question. Out of the whole group, she was very consistent. Miss Tourism World Philippines is Taguig City. Super deserving. Honestly, her performances throughout the whole competition were fabulous. I'm excited for her. I feel like she was super deserving of a title. Love this. Now we have Reina Hispano-Americana Philippines. She is Aklan. And don't forget that the Philippines is the reigning Reina Hispano-Americana queen right now. So she will be fighting for a back-to-back. This will be very tough. She's super excited. Now we have Asia Pacific International 2025. I'm glad we have multiple crowns. Yeah. Honestly, I was getting a little bit worried. I was just thinking, Anita has to get some kind of a crown. What is actually happening here? And I don't know if they're just choosing contestants that they think match really well with each organization, like Binibining Filipinas. But if it's based off of scores, I can see Emma and Anita being in that top two and choosing between the two. But Emma did really well for her onstage question. They're both a great option, honestly. But it's going to be really tough for Emma because now technically she's competing for a back-to-back in a way, even though CJ was first runner-up and then later appointed as Miss Grand International. But it's still going to feel like competing for a back-to-back of the competition. And I feel like it'll still be tough to get Philippines to crown Philippines at Miss Grand International, so we'll see what happens. But I do feel like Emma is really qualified. She's going to go super prepared. I cannot wait to see her gowns. After seeing her preliminary gown style, I feel like I don't know what we're about to see at Miss Grand International, but I hope it's just as unique and that she just, represents the Philippines with pride and puts on a great show. Thank you for watching this year's recap, and I hope you tune into the next.